Hello, my friends. I often get asked how to successfully manage a full-time artistic career. And I think 50% of an artist's success comes, of course, from the quality of the work. But the other 50% is how well can you market, promote, and sell your own work. In New York City, there is a famous artist advisor called Brainard Carey. With time, we have become very good friends to the point where he was so kind to put together a series of videos giving artists tips, advice, and strategies for success. So please welcome Brainard Carey.
Hello, my name is Brainard Carey. I'm an artist, I'm an educator, I'm a writer, and today I'm going to tell you a little bit about how to get into a gallery, how to approach a gallery, how to introduce yourself to galleries, and ultimately get your work shown in galleries. I wrote 2 books. One of them is called Making It in the Art World, a guidebook for artists. It's a bestseller. The other book is called New Markets for Artists that just came out, and it's about sharing your work on the internet. What I'm going to tell you a little bit is how galleries are structured and how to approach them specifically and how to get your work inside one of them. To begin with, wherever you live in the world, make a very short list of the galleries that are nearby you. I know you may want to show in other cities, in other places, but begin by starting with galleries that are right near you, that are somehow in your neighborhood or within driving distance of where you are. The important thing to understand about galleries is they're not like other institutions that are federally governed, like museums or nonprofits. Galleries are something closer to delis or small stores. Anybody can open one, there's no rules at all, and there's no standards whatsoever. The reason that's important to know is because people often ask me, what do gallery owners want? How should I submit things? And the truth is that there is no one way to submit things. There is a way to approach them all, which I'll tell you in just a moment, but keep in mind that they're all independent businesses, all run by different people, and there is no standards in their operating procedures. So to begin with, you've made yourself a small list, and that list is of, let's say, the 5 galleries that are within your area. If you want to go there with something, don't go with original work, and do not go with any kind of large portfolio that you have to open up. Bring either 2 things, one of 2 things. Either a CD that's in your bag and the CD just has your images on it and perhaps a resume, or bring an iPad, which is a really kind of attractive and sexy way to show off work, and have about 10 images on there. Be prepared not to show any work at all. This is what you do. You walk into a gallery and you walk to the person who's sitting at the front desk and you say these very simple words, which is, do you look at the work of new artists? And the answer to that question is either yes or no. If they say no, okay, don't show them work, don't push anymore. The answer is no. If they say yes, we do look at the work of new artists, then say to them, how would you like to see work submitted to you? And sometimes you're talking to the gallery owner that's sitting right behind the desk. Sometimes not. But if it's the gallery owner, they may say, you can send me JPEGs, or do you have a CD, or what kind of work do you make? I was in a gallery not long ago asking these kind of questions for a lot of the artists that I help work with and mentor, and one of the galleries said, yeah, a guy came in here and he asked that question, and we said to him, well, what kind of work do you do? And he took out his iPad and he began to scroll through some images that looked gorgeous on there. And they said through that presentation, a year later, he had a solo show. So again, I want to reiterate a few very important points in approaching a gallery. And the main thing is that you walk in and first ask the question, do they look at the work of new artists? And when they say yes, you can say, how would you like that work submitted? If they say no, then say thank you and walk out the door. That is the process for submitting work to new galleries. I don't think you should ever submit more than 10 works, and again, never bring in original work to show them. And I mean never submit more than 10 works, even by JPEGs. Usually they'll ask for 2 or 3. You want to give them a taste of who you are, get them interested in your work so that they might want more in the future. That's the main idea with approaching galleries. Now here's one more important point to remember when approaching galleries, and it's a way to begin building relationships. A gallery may like your work, they may even be interested, but the question for you is, do you want to work with this gallery? Perhaps they're not a gallery that you think is worth working with. How do you determine if they're a good gallery or not? The answer to that is simple. You go to a gallery that you might approach before even asking them if they look at the work of new artists. Go to an opening. And at the opening, do this exercise. Look around at the work carefully. Look at all the pictures on the walls and see if there's something in there that you really like, that you find interesting. If there is, go over to the desk and say, I'd like to talk to somebody about that piece on the wall over there. Just like that. And what will happen is either the director of the gallery will come out or the curator, and they'll say, hi, what is it that you'd like to know? And then ask them an interesting question about the work on the wall. Maybe the question is, how did the artist make this? What medium is this? Is this acrylic and oil? Is this sculpture made out of stone, or is that your composite material? Ask them something intelligent that you would know about the material. The reason this is important is because then you will hear them talk to you and explain to you something about the art. That'll give you a sense of who that person is that's running the gallery, whether it's the curator or director. When they do that, you'll begin to sense, would I like this person talking about my art that way? Or do I not like the way they're talking? If you like the way they're talking, very good. Then this could be a good fit for you, and you can move on to the next day coming in and saying, I'd like to talk about whether or not you look at the work of new artists. So that's really, in a nutshell, the way you can begin your career of doing this. If you want to go to other cities, sending emails is really not the best way, because again, you want to check out those galleries. You want to talk to that director. So if you want to show in other cities, drive to those cities. Spend a day going to openings, talking to people. Then the next day, ask them all how they like work submitted, and if in fact they look at the work of new artists. Again, I'm Brainard Carey from the Art World Demystified, and I hope you enjoyed this talk. There will be one weekly on this channel, so I hope you are very successful with your career, and if you have any questions, you can ask me through the links below. Thank you, and I wish you the greatest success.